in the pick and roll game.
And now you see Phoebish starting off on Caitlin Clark. New York was pretty coy about how they would defend her. Boston, the roll, the catch, and puts it in for two.
When Clark and Boston play through the dangerous to try to defend, really good read by Boston.
You talked about it. That's where you want to see the Fever operate, where you feel they're going to have the most success. When we talked to Caitlin Clark, she said early in the season with the new pieces, it's a matter of everybody finding their role. Ionescu, another dish. Jones muscles it in. Two more for her.
So back-to-back layups for the game. Really good execution by them, and you'd expect that out of a veteran team.
Now Cloud picks up Clark full court as she initiates the half-court offense. Crossover move by Clark. Thought about the step back. Boston this time driving to the paint, and an easy two.
Aaliyah Boston's decision-making has goal. She's good with putting it on the bounce. She can make plays.
Stewart pump fake, and it opens up like the Red Seas as she gallops to the lane for the lay-in.
3 right-handed layups. That's not something Stephanie White's going to be pleased about.
Here's Mitchell sprinting down the floor. Can't get the head to Ionescu. Sabrina short on the jumper.
Well, you want to make Sabrina dribble into her shots if possible.
Mitchell gets behind the secondary and puts it in.
And Jordan, that's why it's so important for her eyes immediately go up the court. She sees 9 players. So good at reading the D.
Kelsey Mitchell, an all-star the last 2 years. You feel she might be the fastest player in the W.
I don't think there's anybody quicker with the ball in the league than Kelsey Mitchell.
Jones already with 6 points and draws the foul. So a chance to add one more as John Quell the foul's on Natasha Howard, her first. Jones steps to the line, no good on the free throw attempt.
Remember, New York is coming off a game where they set the WNBA single season record. They made 19 triples against Chicago in the last game. And New York likes to switch 1 through 5.
And Mitchell took her eyes off the ball. A bit of a late pass coming in from Liberty basketball.
When New York switches, and
that play right there is everything Caitlin Clark told us as far as this team just finding their timing and rhythm. Jones the 3, no good. Clark another board.
New York is doing a really good job of getting into the vision of Caitlin Clark early.
Clark steps on the gas, goes right by Stewart, and picks up the foul.
When you shadow her up the floor.
You know, rim protection there as things opened up for Caitlin Clark. So she steps to the line, adds some tip to the bill. An old-fashioned 3-point play gives the Fever a 1-point advantage.
Caitlin Clark is looking to score in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. And if it doesn't happen, they can run their actions.
Clark had just 11 points in the road victory over Atlanta. Did not have a 3 for the first time in 140 games. It's Cloud off target. Howard this time initiates the break.
Chase for Business is literally what it says in the name. It is Chase for Business.
Living with opioid addiction can be a struggle. Supplicate with Counseling is for adults with moderate to severe.
Howard stepping right through the defense and a heartbreaker at the Cloud up ahead. 2-on-1 opportunity. Stewart catch, finish. Excellent footwork there.
Now, really good push by New York. Look at the floor off the outlet. And Natasha Cloud finding Stewart.
Boston trying to roll, can't handle the catch, and that'll sail out of bounds.
To pick up a cheap foul.
And that's going to be a foul on Howard, and that is her second personal. So we're not in the season opener, became the WNBA's 3rd all-time leading scorer. Cloud cross-court pass. Ionescu, open 3 off target. And Hull able to scoop up the rebound.
Really good job to get out and contest on a short closeout on Sabrina Ionescu.
Here's like Ionescu and Caitlin Clark, the way that you defend and your team slants. Boston galloping to the cup. The connection works again.
There's not a lot of space there to squeeze that basketball through.
Well, you
what a
see
great pass.
The chemistry they developed after a full season together. Cloud barreling towards the cup, and a late whistle comes in.
Boston to get a straight line dive to the bucket.
The Fever have 5 field goals, heads of the free throw line, and what a pickup for the Liberty. They gave up 2 first-round draft picks, and
she's leading the team in scoring, and I think it's not just her offense, mostly for Sandy Brondello. It gives them somebody new and fresh to build on their championship season last year. But she's a tremendous on-ball defender, one of the better defending
the screens for Clark. She thought about it. Give and go with Boston. Nearly poked away by Jones this time. Cloud gets the hands up, and Cloud forces the turnover. Liberty back the other way. For the first time in this game, things slow down.
Indiana did a good job communicating their switches right there.
Cloud, the drive, the dish, blocked by Boston. And then a collision on the floor, and they're just going to rule this out of bounds as Phoebus was trying to chase the All-Stars. Gotten off to a terrific start here. 6 points. Shots off target. Stewart with the rebound, and she pushes the pace. Jones loses it behind the back. It's a 2-on-2 break. Hull trying to attack Cloud, spinning. Hull elevates and puts it down.
That's a big bucket by Lexi Hull.
Confident play by her as well, too. Back to Stewart, and there is the unselfish play of the New York Liberty.
Well, again, shoot spread out, operating in the middle third. And that's
1-point lead for New York. We'll step aside for a moment in Indianapolis.
I don't know how you guys will handle that with your spouses.
Well, it's good that one of them's on offense, the other one's on defense. I'll tell you this much, Zane was the star of the shoot-around yesterday, as Bonner no good on her, too.
That's kind of the way my marriage is, too. I'm on offense, and he's always on defense.
All I know is I'm out of my league in mine. I'll put it that way. So here we go. New York back on the other end. They're shooting 60% from the field, essentially, as Hull picks up her first foul. The bench. Coming in for her is Marine.
Job in their switching defenses, and she can shoot the three. She's a career 36% three-point shooter.
Stewart right down the middle. And a foul whistled against Mitchell, it looks like. And if it's Mitchell, that'll be her second foul. So some early Age Beckers in Dallas on the road at Atlanta. Thursday, Dallas at Chicago. Then on Friday, Connecticut at Indiana. And then Los Angeles at Las Vegas. NBA.com or visit the WNBA app. When we talked to Stewart yesterday, the championship mindset here for the Liberty, they feel like there's no hangover from last year. This is a very hungry team that has their eyes on repeating.
Well, it's about culture, and they know that they have added some really good pieces. Every team goes through adversity in this league because the league is so good. Then you have to have the right character around you to be able to get through it, and the talent.
And a three is good for the Liberty. So 6-point advantage for New York, their largest lead of the afternoon. Bonner had some airspace. This time gets it down low to Boston. Boston pivoting against Stewart, goes off the glass.
Early in the game, Breanna Stewart's going to show some discipline there. And if she stays foul-free as the game goes on, she'll be more of a presence at the rim.
Stewart lost it off her foot. Sabrina scoops it up, 10 to shoot with Boston on her. Tries to take her into the deep end, launches another triple. And the former Duck buries it.
WNBA record for most threes in a season, 128. She can shoot it.
And Cloud all over Ready. And the Liberty bring it back down the floor. Cunningham, Stewart get a little tangled up, and that's going to be a whistle against Cunningham. They call her for the block. She get to double figures in just the... So defensively for the Fever, and this is an area where they really are looking to improve this season. You bring in Stephanie Whitehead. So how do you start correcting some of the things you're seeing here in the first quarter?
Well, ball pressure is the first thing, and sprinting up early so you can have who you want defending their personnel. They went through a really detailed defensive scout yesterday.
Clark, a tough bucket, and another and one opportunity as she goes window shopping. It's the first foul on Rebecca Gardner, seeing some early minutes, and Clark with another three-point play. She's got 6 here in the first quarter, and we're already seeing a lot of screens deep in the backcourt to try and free open these point guards.
Well, Indiana has played this season with a lot more pressure in the backcourt, and part of that is because they have more depth.
Jones, another easy catch and finish, and to your point, those right-handed layups.
I mean, they have 9 baskets, and I have them unofficially with 7 right-handed layups.
Clark found a hole in the defense. Bonner with the steal. Hall with another triple. Fever rising. Ionescu trying to draw the foul and is able to do so. First free throw coming here for Sabrina. Well, tomorrow at 10 East on CBS Sports Network. Second free throw is good for Sabrina, and you noticed something about her immediately when we saw her shoot around yesterday.
I could tell her fitness, her off-season work. She said October 20th she took a break. Beginning of November she was back in the weight room.
She talked about doing a lot of cardio, wanted to be bulletproof, and so far, Leah Boston's been bulletproof to start this game.
More in the first quarter to start this game than she did against the Atlanta team.
And that's going to be an offensive foul against the
play in the two-man game in the middle third. Oh.
Clark faces a trap, lofts a pass, saved by Dantas Cunningham, sets her feet, knocks down the tray.
Off the broken play and then the full court pressure.
So the Fever gain the 1-point advantage, just under 40 seconds up to an opening quarter. And that's going to be a foul as Johannes is trying to sail a pass that's going to go against Caitlin.
Those are the kind of plays you got to be able to knock down.
Indiana now.
Rondella, because with Boston on the floor, they didn't trap Clark, but with Dantas, they did.
Let's test your knowledge with today's. Give you a moment to chew on that as Stewart misses the second. You think quick 2 for 1 here by any chance?
Absolutely.
So Cunningham brings it down the floor, allows Clark to work off balls you mentioned, fighting through some contact. That's
the floor.
How about the start for Caitlin Clark already? We mentioned 6 points, 6 assists, missed the free throw.
Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question coming off her Rookie of the Year season, first team All-WNBA guard.
It was to have some time off. It was such a sprint from the end of her senior season at Iowa, immediately to the W. But now she had an actual offseason. She said, I enjoyed watching basketball in the winter. 6 to shoot for New York. Ball poked away. That's going to bounce out of bounds. Fever Rock with 7.4 left. Clock winding down. Holt trying to pass it up ahead. Poked away. Cloud will have a chance. Dumps it off, and that's going to be a foul on Clark. Gardner will head to the free throw line. Debbie with 1.6 seconds left.
I mean, Port already one time this season.
Was their Atlanta game on the road. Picked up 4 fouls relatively quickly. Was held to just 11 points, but right now, Harris. Second free throw is good for Gardner. And Cunningham will just hang on to the ball. But how about the opening quarter? Clark combined for 15 points, 6 of 18 from the field. In the first quarter, they've combined for 17 points, 7 of 8 from the field.
Cloud on Clark.
Clark with 4 early turnovers, as we mentioned, gets the screen from Bonner. Bonner, the pump fake. Bonner, size advantage, lowers the shoulder, stripped away by Cloud.
At the rim.
They've got to hustle 4 seconds, back to Cunningham. Cunningham puts it up short of the rim. And Cloud scoops up the board. Bonner, another backcourt steal. Bonner this time picks up the foul. So a wily play from the veteran. Think about the way that Indiana retooled this roster. Bringing in this experience is so important. And DeWanna Bonner in the W. Impressive for both of them.
Such great length, such incredible longevity, and a 2-time WNBA champion. Part of the pedigree and the culture that Indy is.
Also nice for Bonner because she has struggled with her scoring the last couple of games, and that's going to be a foul against Dantas. And so,
well, one of the hardest things, obviously, to guard is off the
back. Burke has had consecutive games in double figures, coming off a 17-point performance against Chicago.
How much he's improved in the offseason.
And that's what you see with the Liberty, is just the depth that they show. Every player knows their role and can confidently do it.
Well, they made some off-season moves, and Benijah Laney, Hamilton not available. She got injured in the off-season.
Cunningham turns the corner and scoops it in. Her second game back from an early season ankle injury. Burke this time trying to feed it down low and up to 13 seconds. Ionescu, 6 to shoot, draws 3 defenders.
So good. I mean, subtlety off the bounce. Already is knocked down. You got to bring the long close out and make her dribble into her shots. But she's worked on that mid-range. She told us yesterday. You saw it right there.
Here's Burke, the switch onto Clark. Clark trying to dance one-on-one. Burke, Clark, step back three. And Clark still looking for games ago against Atlanta. Burke will try the triple, and Burke, a huge three right in front of her own bench. And the
8 on the season outside the arc. Wow, that's an off-season improvement for you.
It's 4 of 4 in that game against Chicago, so all of a sudden an offensive weapon in Kennedy Burke coming off the bench. Cunningham cutting. Cunningham lost control, couldn't get rid of the ball, and that'll be a turnover.
Today, we're talking downtime.
Yes, we are. Most people are shocked when they find out that after receiving a Botox cosmetic treatment, there's minimal.
New York possession. Essentially the whole roster hit a three in that game.
Jordan, I watched synergy on all those 19 made threes. 8 different players made a three. 7 of those threes were set up by getting a piece of the paint.
Kelsey Mitchell back in the game, goes right by Stewart. Will draw the foul and head to the free throw line for a pair. And so we saw Phoebish head to
A lot, but when Coach Brondello walked down to check on her, she gave her the thumbs up. So perhaps we'll see her go back in this game, guys.
All right, thank you, Tiffany. Mitchell re-signed in January on that one-year Supermax. And as we mentioned, 10th in the MVP voting. Last year's been an all-star the last couple of years, and her continued development has been huge for the Fever. Cloud this time, well defended by Boston. Hull trying to post up Jones, and an excellent pass and catch as Jones gets 2 more.
So smart. Does that switch and then allows Jonquel Jones to get that post-up lob position.
Jones now one of 3 Liberty players in double figures. Hull no good at the cup, and Cloud will initiate the break.
Tasha Cloud, a big point guard, physical, strong, experienced.
Cloud will try the triple and hits it.
You know, the beginning part of her career, everybody went
Point deficit because of New York and their ability to score in the paint as Boston.
New York in a zone, Jordan.
First time we've seen that. They switch it up. Cross-court pass.
They match up.
Here's Howard, 5 to shoot. Howard picks up the dribble, sails a baseline jumper, no good. Sabrina with the rebound.
New York had not played any possessions of zone leading up to today. They show zone, then they quickly pick back up into man.
The Liberty are on a 10-1 run since Phoebish left the game. With that injury, make it 12-1 as Burke gallops to the cup. It's the largest lead of the afternoon for New York.
And half their points are in the paint. Indiana's got to do a better job of protecting inside out.
Cunningham off target. Burke with another rebound, and
that's my unofficial count.
Well, they're shooting 14 of 20, Debbie. 70% in this game, and you mentioned all the paint points, and you talked about that's how they pick you apart. They get all those paint touches and put you in tough positions. Cloud hits another 3.
What a great skip match, but that's how unselfish they are.
The Fever scoreless in 6 of their last 7 possessions. Now Cloud over the top. What a catch by Sabrina as she gets the finish and the foul, and all of a sudden the Liberty starting to pull away.
This is the
so well so quickly with this New York team.
Yeah, it seems so effortless. She said it was great to come to oiled, and she's just been able to be herself, and they appreciate that from her. Both Stewie and Sabrina talked to us about how New York has embraced her and that she brings the confidence and the versatility as well as being a great leader for this group.
Mitchell, the baseline catch goes high off the glass, can't get the finish. Cunningham, offensive rebound. Mitchell working the baseline, tough 3 over the defender, buries it. A much-needed bucket for the Fever, and Sabrina right down the court going coast to coast.
You make them take it out of the net, you got to be able to match up quicker.
Ionescu with 15 points. Mitchell patrolling the baseline, trying to eye a hole in the defense. Wants to work it on Jones. Will try another 3 in and out. A little friend. Clark over the top. Boston.
The pass is exactly on the target hand. That action is the best action Indiana has in their offense.
12 points for Boston, 7 assists for Clark. Still a 12-point lead for New York as they shoot a sizzling 74%. Just under 4 minutes left in the first half. Cloud takes the contact and pirouettes to the cup. And she's now the 4th member of the Liberty in double figures.
New York has Indiana and one of the best players in the league at breaking off the offense.
Amen. Really the definition of fearless if you look that up amongst a lot of players. Nescu curling. Cloud has had the hot hand, gets it down to Jones, defended by Boston, 7 to shoot. Cunningham feints. Cloud, jab step, puts up the 3 and it's short.
In New York, because they've shot it so well, they should be better in their transition defense. They haven't sent anybody to the glass.
And there's Mitchell screaming towards the cup for 2 more. Stewart will launch a tray. And now it's Clark that'll bring it down.
See how they shadow Clark with 6'4", 6'6", and then she gets the matchup she can score on.
Clark, no good. Boston right there to clean it up, and a timeout on the floor for New York. The Fever trying to claw back into this one. Aaliyah
with very unselfish ball move.
Kelsey Mitchell has provided a spark coming back into this game after New York built that lead on a 12-1 run. 10 left to shoot. Ionescu, size 2, drives baseline, has to try to find a safety valve, flips the pass. What a find. Jones poked away by Mitchell. Clark, step back tray. Caitlin Clark still without a 3 in this game. And this time the pass off the backside of Burke.
She knows she's put the work in. It's going to fall. You got to shoot your way out of it.
We talked to her about what are some of the things some of your mental coaches have told you that have really stuck. She said, I just have to trust how good I am and the fact that I've put in the work and keep at it. 3-pointer way off target. And now you've seen a couple of consecutive stops for the Fever.
Now Caitlin's going to wait for Aaliyah Boston here.
Goes over the top. Boston, the catch, fading away, goes off the glass.
Really nice job of loading to the strong side. As the recipient or as somebody who can assist her in making a play.
Boston has been perfect this afternoon. A game-high 16 points. Stewart in and out. Just under 90 seconds left here in the first half. Clark trapped on the sideline, surrounded by Stewart, and calls it. They'll go the handoff. Clark for 3. Still without a triple. Howard, offensive rebound, comes crashing in. Boston able to save it. Clark, another cast. And it has just been a tough go from outside for Caitlin Clark. And then a travel and a turnover by the Liberty.
I thought Caitlin Clark right there stayed in that play, even though she's frustrated.
Under a minute left here in the first half. Clark working off the ball. Mitchell feeds it to her. It's Boston that has been sensational for the Fever. 8 of 8 with 16 points. She rolls, catch. Boston 1-2 step. Her first miss, trying to get her miss. Scoops up the offensive rebound and draws the foul.
The connection much in that area in the middle third on the top of the floor.
It's the first foul on Jonquel Jones. The WNBA had just 4 points, 2 of 7 from the field against Atlanta. In that victory on the road, it was her lowest scoring output in the last 38 games. Yet the Fever get the win. Ionescu, and that's going to be a foul against New York.
Ionescu
Got bailed out in that situation. 7-second differential between shot and game. Clark in midcourt. Cloud defending. Cloud trying to determine where the screen's coming from. They switch. Clark loses the dribble. Feeds it back to Boston. Boston to the corner. Bonner wide open for 3. Hits the side of the backboard. And New York will have one more chance. Looking down low. Stewart. Pass Cunningham. 4. And Sophie Cunningham's going to pick up the foul. That'll be her second.
and scoring 95.5 points per game.
Usually that trends that direction.
They've got plenty of talent to make plays.
Stewart, the two-time MVP. It's the second free throw. And Boston will not be able to get a shot off, so 55-46 advantage for New York. early stories. Caitlin Clark still without a three. She was held without one in their last game against Atlanta, breaking a 140-game streak. Oh, corner three. And how about that start for the Fever?
Chance in the quarter court, but you've got to protect inside out.
Cuts the lead to 6. And now you're starting to see some of that physicality on display. Ionescu stops on a dime and hits the floater.
I mean, she is so good and very challenging to defend, but you have to take something away, and you can't let her spot up.
Mitchell for the triple, and that is going to be out of bounds.
Really good footwork. You don't see many players step out of bounds anymore. They've all worked on it so much.
It's interesting with Sabrina, when we were talking to her about what she works on in the offseason, she acknowledged that teams are going to force her into the paint. And she really has done a better job of finishing. Doesn't get it to go that time, but has been solid throughout this game.
See, that's the way you defend her. Lexi Hull, long closeout, make her put it on the floor.
Clark over Burke. That's going to be long. And Stewart with the read.
There's a recalibration that's getting ready to take place.
And then Jones fouled as she was going to the cup. And Tiffany, Caitlin Clark, we're not accustomed to seeing this. What do you make of what we've seen so far?
Yeah, we're not, and we did get to talk to her moments that what she saw from the team, say, you know, in their game again, had a deep bench. They were able to be versatile and find other ways to score, even though they were missing that part of Caitlin hitting threes. And we know teams are going to gang up on her, so in those times, the message to Caitlin.
So space, screen, angles, timing, all of that important, but you're not going to change the way you're going to defend Caitlin Clark, because she sees a big basket, she can rattle off.
Anytime she's got the 8 assists, 7 points. Mitchell this time turning the corner, fends off the defender. What a finish for Kelsey Mitchell. And then Hall just melts on the screen. Jonquel Jones setting a solid one. And then Jones, her three is short. Clark will retreat the dribble this time, resets it with Boston. Howard, who had a very quiet first half because of foul trouble, double teamed, and that's going to be a foul at points. She's 9 of 10 from the field. Jones back-to-back threes, no good. Here comes the break. Fever moving. Clark nearly lost it. Oh, the pump fake, left-hand drive, fading away, off target. A battle down low. Howard gets tangled up. They're going to whistle a jump ball. And you pointed it out, they were chopping up this Indiana defense, and that's going to be batted. It's a foot race. Cloud sprints ahead, and an easy lane, so a heads-up play on the jump ball. You wonder, too, with Howard's presence, as another backdoor cut is good. Oh, slicing through the D.
That 90-degree cut on the bait at it. And Natasha Howard does a really good job of dribbling right at Hull's defense.
Burke whips a pass to Jones, pats it over to Stewart. They go around the horn, but can't complete the three. Mitchell up ahead, bounce pass just outside the reach of Kelly. Clark would love to have that one back. Leonie Febish is questionable with a left shin injury, the typical starter. We haven't seen her since midway through the second quarter. Ionescu tied up, but a foul called against the Liberty. That's going to be against Natasha Howard, her third foul.
Can't over-rotate, and you have to make sure you guard the player in front of you. It's really important to keep him in front.
Sabrina directing traffic. Stewart, pump fake, puts it on the deck. 1-2 step with the left, and a whistle against Howard. That'll be her fourth. As Stewart, another strong, aggressive move to the cup.
Brianna Stewart.
Boston, Howard, Mitchell, and Hull on the floor for the Fever. Cloud, Jones, Burke, Stewart, and Ionescu. Boston taking her time, kicks it back out to Hull. Stop it, pop it, hits the midi.
Really good job staying active on the weak side defense occupied, and then just a nice turnaround jump shot by Hull.
How about the game for Lexi Hull? Gets the start this afternoon, 14 points, 6 of 8 from the field, and a monster collision. Jones going to get whistled, so Lexi Hull not afraid to sacrifice the body. And now it's Indiana ball, down 4.
Well, as a defender, calling timeout, substituting personnel, changing your defense, changing the rhythm with which you run offensively.
It's just little plays here and there. These are not your typical Caitlin Clark from 29 feet getting the crowd on their feet. It's tough defensive plays. It's hustle plays. It's finishes at the cup from other players, and talks about the supporting cast around Caitlin Clark this year that she doesn't have to shoulder the whole load. Boston, the floater, popcorns in. We've got a 2-point game.
I mean, that is the best. Caitlin's vision and her timing on the delivery. Aaliyah Boston, her ability to catch.
New York led by as many as 15 in this game as Cloud skates to the cup for a much-needed 2.
She has the best plus-minus on the team for New York. At halftime, she was plus 16.
As we mentioned, just a seamless fit for the culture and court fit for the Liberty. And then this time an illegal screen against Boston as she was trying to roll and get free. Stewart had a terrific start in the first quarter, has been a little quiet over the last 2.
I do think Indiana's picked up their energy on the defensive end.
6 to shoot. Cloud up top. Boston defending. Cloud trying to get to the back. Poked away by Mitchell. Mitchell racing ahead. Gets right by Stewart. And Indiana creeps closer and closer as Kelsey Mitchell steps on the gas.
New York's championship pedigree can come in. Can they handle the adversity right now? This crowd is in it.
And a foul against Bonner. Punch from the Liberty. Stewart trying to go baseline, 6 to shoot. Burke trying to get open. Stewart to Jones, carves out some real estate, can't get it. But an offensive rebound for New York. They'll reset. Jones again down low, this time just whipped it. Cole trying to deny Sabrina. Sabrina sheds her. Oh, a little witchcraft from Ionescu as she gets to the cup.
That's where that fitness and extra strength comes into play. Can handle that contact.
Clark has been 0 for her last 11 from 3 as she dishes it off. This time Mitchell trying to fight through the contact. Clark left open. Is this the one? No. Off the heel. Bonner volleyballs it free. Here's Hull, the drive. It opens up. Hull right to the cup and draws the foul. So the Fever doing an excellent job of getting some opportunities as at Las Vegas. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. First free throw off target, 4. Let them play at different times on the floor.
Well, and they're good together also. They definitely bring a defensive punch. And, you know, right now Indiana's picking up again, full court pressure. I think New York needs to get Stewie going.
Johannes, step back triple, rainbow 3, no good. Jones chases it down. Hull forced to the backcourt. Ionescu no good on her long attempt. Clark with the rebound as she pushes it. Hull trying to spot up, kicks it into Boston. Boston back to Hull. Hull, tough shot. Jones reclaim. And now Burke will handle the show, and Burke gonna dribble it off her leg.
It's over with.
The gravity with her, and you've talked about how defenses have to stretch so far down the court. Here's Mitchell, sets her feet. Mitchell raising the 3, and we've got a tie ball game. Burke cutting. And a foul on her already. Well, live CBS. Burke misses the second. Bonner with the rebound. 1 point New York advantage. Clark sees 2 defenders. Spin dribble. Draws 3. Loses the handle. Turnover. New York back the other way. Sabrina spots Stewart. Lines up a 3 off target. Batted a lot. Bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense. Goes into traffic and reverses it. Stewart driving its lead since it was 29-28. Themselves right now because they're no longer shooting that 74% we saw them shooting early on. This has been a tough shooting. We go back to January 13, 2022. That was 141 games ago. 3, yet here we are, Indiana trailing by just 1.
To go back to your point about New York, I think they need to solidify their defense right here. Contest the shots and then move the ball on the offensive end.
Clark wants the clear out. Jones trying to keep up. Mitchell to Boston. Baseline, Buddy. And the lead goes.
Making the extra pass.
It's the 18th assist. Ionescu no good on the three. Swatted out of bounds.
Good shot to a great shot.
You pointed it out early in this quarter. You're seeing a lot of one-pass shot, no-pass shot possessions for New York. Clark, step back three. Oh, she hit it and draws the foul. Welcome back, Caitlin Clark. Fourth foul on Gardner and a 4-point play for Caitlin Clark in Indiana in the third quarter.
Remember, they were down 15 in the first half, Indiana.
Cloud defended by Mitchell. You see the physicality on display from Indiana. Can New York chop it up? Johannes in and out. Rebound to Gardner. Don't want a Bonner. Rips it away.
2 for 1.
Clark stutter step goes right by Stewart, but blocked. Big time collision. And Clark is still down on the floor. And Stewart checking in on. Clark trying to get it inbounds. Cunningham can't pry open, and a turnover. Pointed it out.
You can't have that happen, Jordan.
You have seen end of quarter breakdowns from this Indiana.
You cannot have game slippage right here. You are in the game with the lead, and you got to execute better.
Cloud brings the dribble out. About a 9-second differential between shot and game clock. Gardner, 5 to shoot. Cloud somehow catches it. Her three, no good. Rebound ripped down. Jones trying to go up with it. Stewart trying to bat it alive. Cloud defending. Clark trying to create some airspace. Long three at the horn. Oh! Caitlin Clark rising from the ashes here in the third quarter. And Indiana with an 8-point lead.
Play.
The Fever have generated all sorts of momentum in the third quarter. Still a lot of basketball left. What do they have to think about here?
Well, nothing changes defensively except for you going to have something to say about the end of this game. She did have a quiet third quarter.
In the last minute and 4 seconds of the third quarter, Caitlin Clark hit 2 threes after being 0 for her last 12 dating back to the last game.
See, that was a quick 7 points.
Mitchell, the three, no good. Boston chases down the rebound. Finds Howard and an easy 2 as the Fever now lead by 10.
Without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your industry, Grainger's here for you with professional-grade supplies. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cloud crashing through the defense. Mitchell straight ahead, and misses. Bookmark that, and Cloud still slow to get off the canvas. She is hobbling now on the baseline. Ionescu trying to dance, flips it over to Stewart. Her three, no good. There's a lid on the rim right now for New York. Clark to Boston. Mitchell coming off the handoff. Mitchell draws 2, back to Boston. Can't get it. Howard right there. Indiana all over the glass. Timeout New York. And this crowd thrown into a fever pitch right now.
Pleasant, South Carolina.
I'm sure he's got a nice little jumper to go with the golf swing as well, too, as Jones gets a much-needed 2. And Tiffany, let's check in with you here.
Hey guys, I was just listening to Dello that there was a calmness about her, but she spoke with a sense of urgency there to tell this team to focus on what they can control and believe they can do it.
That right here, and this horn set did work in the second quarter for them.
Big couple of possessions here for New York to steady the tide of this game. Jones spitting, whirling, twirling, and a foul. 8 minutes left in this game, and with Indiana, you've seen this with teams before when they surge ahead. Sometimes you get too...
Against Indiana, so you go right back to it.
It's the 5th foul on Howard. Jones now with 15 points, 10 rebounds. The Liberty 20 since New York. They are battle-tested. They have no problem trying to walk back in the Indiana Fever. Cunningham now will initiate the offense. We saw this earlier in the first half. Clark flaring.
Showing zone.
Howard, catch down low. Howard right through the contact.
Really good
Big
ball
bucket
The ball against the zone.
It's the 20th assist for the Fever. Stewart puts it on the floor. Mitchell comes over with the double. Burke will try the three, no good. Clark can't get it. Cloud racing to it, and a heads up. Tough play from Cloud.
And being aggressive. New York's got to get more aggressive.
Got the first step, and this time Cloud pokes it away. Bounce pass threads the needle. Stewart and New York inching closer to Cloud 9 right now. Clark, step back, has Stewart dancing, the three, no good. Rebound to Boston. Clark right to Howard, scoops it a little too strong. Ionescu with the board, and Cloud now just jogging behind the rest of the players, pulls up, trails, thinks about the three. Stewart, what a catch as she creates the separation. They want continuation.
Great seal by Stewart to when and where, and it takes time to figure all that out. What can Natasha Cloud do? Natasha Howard.
Jones bodies a couple of defenders, gets the offensive rebound, put back in just like that. It's a 4-point game.
And to figure out different rotations and combinations.
Boston nearly lost it. Clark right there to pick up the change. Boston fouled by Cloud.
Good rescreen by Boston.
Boston fakes the pass. The hook shot no good. Sabrina not wasting any time getting it down the floor. Nearly traveled. Gets it back to Jones. Jones, long three. And we have got a 1-point game. And the New York Liberty, an 11-2 run.
Clark with the ball in her hands in the middle third with Aaliyah Boston. That's the best action they run, with Kelsey Mitchell in the corner to be able to shoot threes.
Mitchell, a courageous three, no good, off target, and New York can take the...
Once Caitlin Clark gave the ball up, New York didn't let her get it back. And with Lexi Hull back in the game, you bring a little more defensive energy right now.
Jones sizes it up. Oh, Jones with a massive three, and New York is taking... Clark to Boston. Boston dumps it off to Hull. Boston this time gets it back. Boston patient, trying to 1-2 step. Jones, excellent job of
Jones so dangerous at 6'6" in the trail position for three.
Sabrina, baseline jumper, can't get it. Ball bops around and
too quick.
Mitchell to try take the lead back, rolls out, and Stewart takes off. 4 minutes remaining. New York 2-0 on this young season. Indiana 2-1. Split a pair of games against Atlanta. Now we have a foul against Hull as Burke was trying to turn the corner.
She just delivered commencement at GW, which is her alma mater.
Sabrina stop and pop off target. Bonner on 7 of their last 8 possessions, trying to find the rhythm once again. Clark well defended by Cloud. Tough fadeaway jumper. And Stewart with the rebound.
If you can keep Sabrina on the left side, you want to keep her on the left side.
Stewart clears some space. Cloud thought about the corner three. Back to Jones. 6 to shoot. Jones with the mismatch. Free throw line jumper too strong.
We're into the paint on that.
It's Boston, the pump fake. Stewart goes crashing down. No whistle. Boston fighting for the ball. And a big-time finish to tie it up at 84 apiece.
Jordan is still May.
The tenacity of Aaliyah Boston feels like a playoff game right now, I'll tell you that much. Both these teams want a seat at the table. Amongst the elite this year in the WNBA, New York trying to repeat. Ionescu finally, after a couple of misses, it's a clutch jumper.
I mean, offense beats good defense.
2-point lead for the Liberty. Just under 2:30 left. Clark working with a little crossover dribble. Slices through the defense and a finish with the right. Let's go, Who can get the next stop? Sabrina with Boston on her. Pounds the rock. Sabrina right to the cup, draws the foul. Third one.
And can shoot it with great range.
Misses the first, though. So Ionescu come back last July. And which the Fever got the win, and she missed them both. Tie ball game.
That rarely happens.
On their feet, 2 screens for Clark. Jones defending her. Clark trying to get to her left, spins, picks up the dribble. Boston cutting. What a find by Clark, no whistle. Jones cutting ahead, and a foul from Clark behind, and that will send Jones to the free throw line. And
Well, that's a good foul because that would have been
hanging on that coach's challenge as Jones.
I would not let Caitlin Clark catch the ball right here. Yeah, Natasha Cloud's going to get right on her. Indiana's going to call it.
Second half, Clark able to get the catch out of the timeout. And what does Stephanie White draw up here?
Well, you go to middle third late. Boston and Clark go to work.
Boston fouled as she goes up. They're going to get Stewart on the call.
It's not a hard formula.
Where do you find the soul of BMW? It's not just in a long legacy of performance, but in those who drive it.
Hurry into the BMW Memorial Day sales event and lease a BMW i5 for $749 per month.
First one's good. Had just 4-point attempt. We're tied in Indianapolis. 1:18 left. Cloud to Sabrina. The 3 rolls out.
What a great.
Bonner, what a big rebound. Clark to Boston. Boston flips it up, no good. Tapped alive. Cloud chases it down. Under 50 seconds left to play. Rolls out again for Sabrina.
2 great looks. Kelsey Mitchell
For the kill shot on both of those. Now Boston with the catch, and they're going to let Clark initiate it. Mismatch with Jones on her. Tie ball game. Clark step back 3 for the lead. No good. It's a race to the ball. Stewart falls to the floor, and it's ruled a jump ball.
New York was
Cloud race down the floor. It's Boston and Stewart. Boston controls it. Bonner picks up the dribble. 9-second differential between shot and game clock. Tie game. Clark gets to the hip. Clark dumps it off. Bonner blocked at the top. No whistle. 1 second left on the shot clock. It's been quick for the Fever. Mitchell gets it, puts it up. Mitchell, no good, hits the rim. New York will have a chance. They call timeout. 7.6. Cloud the catch, back to UNESCO. Sabrina turns the corner. Sabrina the bump and draws the foul with 2.9 remaining. So Sabrina will head to the line. She missed her last 2 free throws, but does not call the challenge. First free throw's good, and New York take Indiana with the reset timeout. Clark checks back in. So clutch for the Liberty. Hit that big-time 3 in the finals against Minnesota on the road.